Monday, November 17th. Thank you so much for joining us on this edition of Wex Wake Up. I'm Natasha Sweet. The Trump administration is considering extending an enhanced Affordable Care Act premium tax credits set to expire at year's end, according to Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services Administrator Mehmet.
I think the president's willing to look at all options, but we have some major flaws with the way these COVID-era subsidies were added. And just so everyone's on the same page in this issue.
The credits boosted under the Biden administration during the COVID-19 pandemic could leave 3.8 million more Americans uninsured annually by 2034 if they lapse. Permanently extending them would cost the government $383 billion. Oz stressed that President Trump is focused on finding a sustainable solution amid concerns of fraud and waste. House Speaker Mike Johnson has shifted his stance on a controversial provision in a funding bill that would allow senators to sue the federal government for secret surveillance.
But I have since talked to Leader Thune and the senators who were involved in that, and their motivation was pure. What they were trying to do is put teeth into the provision of law that prevents these abuses like Jack Smith and these rogue prosecutors who weaponize the DOJ to go after political enemies.
A last-minute addition to Johnson's clean continuing resolution was championed by Senate GOP members to deter future abuses by prosecutors like special counsel Jack Smith. Johnson initially criticized the unnotified change, but after discussions, he said now he supports strengthening penalties for government overreach. The provision would let senators claim up to $500,000 each for legal fees. It stems from Smith's 2023 surveillance of multiple GOP senators during an FBI operation called Arctic Frost, tied to the January 6 probe. The United States is set to designate the Venezuela-based Cartel of the Suns as a foreign terrorist organization, according to Secretary of State Marco Rubio.
It allows us to do that, but we haven't said we're going to do that. And we may be having some discussions with Maduro, and we'll see how that turns out. They would like to talk.
Rubio accused Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his cronies of leading the cartel, which he linked to other designated groups like Tren de Aragua and the Sinaloa cartel for fueling terrorist violence and drug trafficking. The move follows recent designations of other cartels under President Donald Trump's aggressive war on drug trafficking, including sanctions on Cartel of the Suns this summer. Tensions are escalating, with the U.S. deploying over a dozen warships and conducting strikes on drug vessels, prompting Venezuela to mobilize nearly 200,000 troops and prepare for potential sabotage. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this Monday morning. For more stories, be sure to head on over to our website and give us a follow on social media so you can stay in the know and all that's trending in politics. Have a great day.